Hello everyone, it's Joni again. Today is, well, it was Friday. It's after midnight, so technically it's Saturday. Let's just go with the fact that it's still Friday. Or not. I'm 18 weeks and 4 days, I want to say, today, maybe. So I've had some cool things happen this week. And this is I got out of the shower and it's damp, dry, crazy hair. But a couple crazy things happened this week to me. One was that I took my son to a doctor that I've been going to for years. And he introduced himself to me. And his nurse told me right before then she wouldn't have recognized me if she'd have bumped into me on the street. And so that felt pretty good. Now, to add to that and make it even better, at that particular doctor's office, he always tries to get me to step on the scale. And the scale always reads error. And then he has me try and step on it again. And we go back and forth through this for a long time until I finally just would tell him, Doc, I'm too fat. It won't read. Forget it. So this time, they decided to work me in for my appointment the same day since I was already there. And I got up on the scale. I didn't know if it was going to read or not. And it did. And I was 318 pounds. So that was a major victory for me. Not a non-scale victory, but an actual you can get on the scale and it will weigh you victory. But Doc introducing himself to me was pretty cool. There were a couple of other things I was thinking about talking about. I cannot think of what they are. So I'll just sit here and look around and say a lot. That'll be extremely helpful for anybody. So I went through a lot of head hunger the last few days, the last week, especially the last few days. And I literally wrote like multiple text messages to my friend Mindy, who had the vertical gastric sleeve, and was like, I really want sweet stuff. I want all of these things. And there was like a list of text messages this long, and they all listed off every sweet thing I could think of. And then I was like, I should not text this to you. This is like sabotage. And she's like, it's okay. I had 2 Hershey's Kisses. I'm good. Now me, I would not have the 2 Hershey's Kisses. I wouldn't have the 1 Hershey's Kiss. I wouldn't have a part of a Hershey's Kiss, anything, because I had the bypass and I know it will make me dump. And even if I tried it and found out that half a Hershey's Kiss didn't make me dump or something crazy like that, like I've seen people in various things, in articles and stuff say that, and it leads to bad habits and weight gain when you're putting the stuff back in your body that you shouldn't be putting in your body. Testing the limits. I don't really plan to test the limits. Now, I mean, I might turn out to be a totally different person later down the line, but I don't see it happening. I hated with all my heart the feeling of dumping. It was so miserable. And I'm sure it will happen again in my life, but I'm going to do everything I can to avoid it. So there's that. I did want to show one thing, because a lot of people are pre-op and maybe they're not diagnosed with sleep apnea. And so a lot of people have to go through sleep studies before they get surgery. So I thought I would show you my CPAP mask. If I can get it. Because y'all know I do most of my recording in my bedroom. So this is my CPAP mask. It looks ridiculous. It looks uncomfortable. It looks, I don't know, everything you can imagine. What happens is you turn it on and it blows air in, and it keeps blowing air in constantly. It's a constant airway pressure to keep your airway open so you don't like forget to breathe. Or you can't be deprived of oxygen from not breathing. It also has little holes and stuff in various places to let back out the carbon dioxide that you expel from your air. I have this, and it's got a little place to go across your forehead and so forth. I prefer a full face mask, okay? I've had this thing for like 10 years. I roll all over the place in my sleep. I thought I would never, ever be able to wear one of these. And you can ask anybody who knows me. They would tell you I'm probably the last person they would ever expect to be able to wear one of these. Just because of how much I move in my sleep. And most of that time I spend on my stomach. But there are a couple features. One is the fact that this spins around. Okay? That helps. And I always thought I would strangle myself in it. Well, I have this thing that I bought to put on it. But this, right here, the way it's made, you can pull on it, but you can't injure yourself with it. That doesn't mean you can't pull it off of a nightstand or something, because I have done that. I prefer the full face mask as opposed to, and I knew I would immediately, as opposed to trying one that's just a nasal mask. And the reason I'm going to say this is going to sound so stupid. I know it is. But I always heard, like, during your life, there are certain statistics. Like, you may eat these many bugs during your sleep or something. And I thought, if I have a full face mask on, nothing can get in my mouth. And so that's my creepy reason. Or stupid reason. But also, I didn't want to feel like it was blowing in my nose and back out of my mouth if I was like, had my mouth open. It was a weird thing. So, that's the added bonus, people. Now, there was something else I wanted to talk about. I don't remember what it was. Oh, and the CPAP that I have has different settings, but basically mine is set so that it automatically detects if I need, it starts me off at a certain pressure, and it determines if I need more. It can tell, and it'll actually titrate or go up to a certain amount of pressure while I'm sleeping if it detects that I need more. So it's super cool. And part of my list of things that I want to do when, I started out my journey, I wrote a list ahead of time of, it's like a checklist of things, non-scale and scale victories that I want to accomplish, one of which is to no longer need a CPAP. What's weird about that is I've been using a CPAP for 1/4 of my life now. I'm 40. I've been using it for roughly 10 years or so. And it's weird to think that I would have a time in my future where I wouldn't need the CPAP. I know if I don't sleep with it, I wake up feeling horrible. I always sleep with my CPAP, except if I happen to fall asleep before I get it on, I doze off. Usually somebody in my family will wake me up. That being said, I think that is probably all for right now. I had something else in my brain, but it's just missing. So that's all for now, and hope wherever you are in your journey, you're doing great. Thanks. Bye.